his presence almost unnatural. A firearm glinted in his
This is
hand.
a setup to a horror movie.
He fired multiple shots at someone behind him. The gunshots shattered
Coolmanrare さんじゃない？ Thank you, ありがとう。
Alright guys, man, it's your boy Coolmanrare back again with another video, man. We're gonna be doing another horror marathon, as you guys know. Yo, I can literally see my facial hair up in here, man. Ew, I'm gonna start shaving. But we're gonna be doing a horror animated story for the 6th episode, I think. 6th episode, man. You know, I'm gonna start pushing all these videos out, man. This is gonna be pretty short, maybe like 10 minutes. Hopefully people can keep their attention span. But here we go, man. Without further ado, here we go. 3 scary true. Let's go. Only see 20 seconds of it.
There was a park.
Oh,
Bruh.
before I do anything, man, just gonna make sure. Alright, here we go there, man.
In my neighborhood that I used to go to pretty often. I've never really liked crowded places, and this park was
Got a
usually
new cast, by the
empty,
way, man.
which made it perfect for walking alone and clearing my head. About 3 years ago, I went there for a walk late one night, probably around 11 or midnight. As I approached the entrance, I noticed 2 men standing there, staring at me. Something about the situation immediately felt
Element in black, man.
That park was usually pretty empty, especially at night. If anyone was there, it was usually couples or people walking their dogs. So seeing 2 grown men just standing around doing nothing felt
Looks so
strange.
shady.
Anyway, I started walking. The trail
Ew.
led past a small hill that connected to what was basically a wooded area, almost like a small mountain. At night, nobody really walked up there, and
you
most
go
of the
here at
lights
night,
were
dude?
turned off, so it got pretty dark and honestly, kind of scary. Normally, I'd just walk around the outer paths and head back, but that night, I felt like walking a little farther in. As I was walking, I suddenly
going
heard a rustling coming from the woods. It startled me, and I looked over. There are usually small animals around there, so at first, I assumed it was just that, but then I noticed something white.
Ew!
I turned on my phone flashlight and pointed it toward the sound, and that's when I saw them.
2
Several
grown men.
were
Ah!
staring directly at me. Their heads were almost level with the
Ew!
ground, like they were lying flat or crouched down. I instantly got chills.
These guys Asian?
I pretended like I
You
hadn't
don't
seen
claim
anything
them, man.
and just kept walking past them.
You don't
As I
claim
continued
them.
walking, something started bothering me.
What's
For a
up?
split second, I
Ew!
thought I'd seen someone's bare foot between their faces.
Who is
It
that?
happened so fast that I convinced myself I must have imagined it. I felt a strong urge to turn
You have to
around,
run.
but I didn't.
I don't know why you're not
Because I had
running.
this overwhelming feeling that if I looked back at them,
I would
something
run,
bad
but
would
my
happen.
foot is like
The
ruptured
only
right
sound
now.
I could hear was my own footsteps.
I'll be hopping.
It was
I'll be
completely
hopping so
silent.
much.
No insects, no wind, nothing. Even without turning around, I somehow knew they were still there, watching me in that same prone position.
It's
I
called
left the
intuition.
area as quickly as I could and took the long way back home. I debated calling the police, but the situation felt vague. What if they were just messing around in the woods? I didn't want to overreact. So I went home and eventually fell asleep. That night, I had a dream. In the dream, I was walking through the same park again, and from inside the
So you
woods,
literally have to
a man
walk
was
there.
running toward me.
This dude literally has to walk there the whole part just to get hurt.
Except he only had an upper body.
That's why you guys gotta get like a dog or something. I want to get a pet, but my parents can't let me because they're worried that I have rabies or something.
No lower half. He was crying while staring directly at me. I woke up, gasping for air, my heart pounding like crazy. I could clearly remember his face, but I had no idea who he was.
Some Asian
Next
guy
day,
from
I
before.
finally
I was saying guys
reported
at
what I'd
SS.
seen to the police. They said they would check the area, but I never heard back from them. When I went back to the park sometime later, there was no sign that anything had ever happened.
Seriously?
There was no disturbance. I was too afraid to go deep into the woods. And honestly, after that night, I stopped going to that park altogether. It's still a mystery to me.
Oh, hey, yo!
Day.
What the hell? Alright, that was the first story, man. Just so you guys know, there's no fishy Pepe today. It's just me, man. But, That would be such a weird situation if you saw like 3 to 5 men under the bush staring at you. I think that would be like a sign to run, because I'd assume that type of thing, if somebody's like keeping their eye on you like Dirks from Dexter, then chances are you're probably gonna get trafficked or kidnapped in some shape or form. So my best solution to that, I'm gonna guess, would be just to stick with somebody, man, because you never know what can happen. But yeah,
I was 10 years old when this happened.
Second story, here we
My mother had
go.
gone to a wedding with her sisters, and it was already past 1 a.m.
How you guys doing,
but she
by the
hadn't
way,
come
man?
home yet. Back then, I couldn't sleep without her around. I kept waiting, my young mind restless, the silence of the night
Stories of a
stretching
kid.
on. Cell phones weren't common in the 90s, so I had no way to contact her. Unable to stay inside any longer, I stepped out into the gallery of our house. A tall fence had closed it.
Damn!
Cars running along the
Close
intersection.
gate.
I
What's the
dragged
way,
a chair
guys?
over,
Close
climbing
suburb.
onto it so I could peer over the gate, hoping to catch sight of my mother returning. The street outside was eerily quiet, completely
That's a
swallowed
safe
by the
ass
night.
place, man.
Minutes passed, nothing. Then,
Rich
out of
guy,
nowhere,
rich
my
kid.
father appeared behind me. His sudden presence startled me. "Go to bed," he said.
I'll wait.
I replied stubbornly. He sighed and said, "Fine, I'll wait with you." Just then, the front gate creaked open. My breath hitched, but there was no one there.
Is it your mom?
The air felt thick, oppressive. My father and I stood frozen, staring, and then a figure stepped forward, a masked man.
Hell Island
Moved
Jack,
with a strange calm, his presence almost unnatural. A firearm glinted
This
in
is a
his hand,
setup to a
and
horror
then
movie.
he fired multiple shots at someone behind him. The gunshots shattered the stillness of the night,
No way that
echoing
was his
down the
mom.
empty street. My father and I couldn't move, couldn't breathe. We
Dude.
weren't just witnessing something horrific, we were a part of it now.
As a
Then,
parent, you
as if
gotta
sensing us, the masked man
You gotta
slowly
put
turned
your
his
head
head
down, bro.
and looked right at us.
put
A
your
wave
head
of
down.
terror, unlike anything I had ever felt, gripped me. He had seen us, we had seen him, and he knew it. Without hesitation, he raised his gun and fired in our
Oh,
direction.
duck!
Time slowed. My mind went blank. I
The
felt
time you
like
see
my
that, you
life
should
was
probably
flashing
duck.
before my eyes.
If somebody shoots.
Before I could even react, my father grabbed me, yanked me off the chair, and rushed me inside.
Let's go.
The door slammed shut behind us. My heart was pounding so hard I thought it might burst out of my chest. We immediately called the police.
You gotta relax,
My mother
guys, when
arrived
you
30
situation like
minutes
that.
later.
Obviously,
Soon after, the authorities followed.
man,
They searched the area,
if I
questioned
saw
people,
someone
but
like
they
that
found
right
nothing.
outside my door,
No
man,
masked
I'm
man,
done.
no body,
Little
no signs
dumb.
of gunfire.
There's gonna be an
nothing.
exit. There's gonna be like a vote, like Silent Hill, or we call it Dead by Daylight, man. There's gonna be a vote. We can just escape like a hatchet, like
It was
a
as if he had
third
never
escape
been there.
route.
But I know what I saw. My father saw it too. Who was the masked man? Who or what was he shooting at? I still don't know.
Hope he didn't shoot your
But
mom.
maybe I never want to.
Ew. Okay. Second story was done, man. Gotta say, we got to see a Michael Myers, off-brand Michael Myers with a Glock in his hand. I gotta say, that never really happens, to be honest, where I live in Australia, Melbourne. Everybody is saying that there's a lot of stuff happening in some of the suburbs I like are in Melbourne, but I don't really see it firsthand, at least. I hear a lot about machete stories, guys, in the city, but I've never really witnessed anything entirely. Just let me, I wanna ask if you guys know any incidents. I wanna know if you guys know any incidents or situations that have happened that are crazy in your city, specifically your suburb. You don't have to tell it, man, if you're not trying to get yourself doxxed, but it's okay. But third story, here we go, man.
Hello, my name is Amelia.
I can't even put my foot down, by the way, guys. And it's so annoying, man. I'm kind of having trouble trying to pay attention because I'm trying to move my foot around.
And I'm 17 years old now. This
Yes.
happened when me and my best friend Flora were 13. We grew up in a small village in the UK and spent that summer hanging out in the local, slightly secluded
Why is she
park
laughing
with our
like that,
friends.
man? Ew.
Spent that summer hanging out in the local, slightly secluded park with our friends Callie, Adam, and Tommy. Telling this story still gives me chills.
Let me hear the
This
story.
was in the summer of 2020, the height of COVID-19, when hardly anyone was outside. Flora,
Facts.
Callie,
Ooh,
and
all I
I
heard.
rode our skateboards every day and knew the park's hidden spots like the back of our hand. As
You
summer
guys
went
know what
on,
you did
we
in
started
COVID
noticing
days.
a tall man in his late 50s, gray hair, yellow-tinted biking glasses that made his
We got
face
Johnny
look
Cage
sunken,
over here, man.
and deep
Ew!
black gloves. He was unmistakable.
Close your
He
mouth.
rode a bike on the gravel trail that looped the park, and we kept seeing him at the same time every day when we met up. The first time he approached us, he said, "Hi, kids.
Gold booster,
I've seen
booster
you playing
gold."
around here quite a lot recently." Flora and I jumped. Callie and the boys turned to face him. His
Why
voice
is no one
was low.
supervising
"Are you
guys?
having fun?" he asked.
Gotta get like
We
an
nodded.
adult.
He waved and rode away, saying, "I'll see you around." A few days later, we tried to ignore him, thinking he was just an odd, lonely local. Then Adam swore he saw camera flashes and yellow-tinted glasses
Okay.
and bushes. That reminder made us uneasy. Not long after that, he sat on a bench across the field with a camera around his neck, smiling and waving at us.
Ew,
He called
man.
out, "I'll see you later." And we
You
heard
guys really need to get like a
the next
supervisor or a
morning, we
guardian.
messaged in our group chat.
'Cause after,
terrified
like, that
he might be taking
interaction-
pictures at the park.
Dude,
Flora and I decided to hang out at her house instead.
you have to get
On
your
the
fam
walk to
or
the
something.
corner shop to grab lunch, we looked up and froze. There he was, walking out of the shop, carrying groceries in his
Alright, bro.
red, gloved hands. Without greeting us, he said, "See you very soon, girls." His grin stretching impossibly wide before he rode away.
Ew.
Petrified, we sprinted back to Flora's, locked the door, and messaged the others to come over. Soon, everyone arrived and we barricaded ourselves in
No
the
one's
living
saying
room
anything.
with blankets and sleeping bags. We tried to watch movies and joke around,
That's the guy from
but
before.
fear kept
What?
us on edge. Around 10 p.m., while the house was quiet and rain drummed outside, Flora and I stayed awake, whispering under the covers. Then, faintly at first, we heard bicycle bells, and then tires and brakes screeching outside our front.
You guys know what this story reminds me of? This reminds me of like this one time one of the people in my primary school were talking about this guy. Because our school, right guys, it was basically in the middle of some homes. And the school name was called Courtney Gardens. It's down in like Australia. It's green. And when we were there, man, it was sort of a spacious place and there would be a lot of, you know, trees and houses. But one time there was a story about somebody. I was told by one of my sister's friends that there was this guy named Sid. And apparently this dude named Sid, he was sort of like a creep. I don't really know if he's a creep, but he sounds like a grumpy old man, like the guy from Scary Movie or Horror House, if that's the right word. I don't know. Horror House, yeah. But listen, what I heard that is that he had a dog and he's like a stingy old man or something, and stories about him were like spread around or something, how he's a weirder and whatnot. But I never got to see him. We just ended up seeing his house. It was like some distance away from a sand pit. I don't know if it was a real story or if some kid was just trying to yap, but that was one of the stories I heard one time in my primary school.
Door. Tears pricked my eyes. We woke up everyone. From the other side of the door came
Story
frantic, hard knocking and a low voice. "See you inside." The pounding got louder.
See you
angrier.
inside!
Adam whispered, "Where is a phone?" Callie crawled across the floor
These guys are like
and grabbed
13.
Tommy's phone. Tommy dialed. We heard every knock like it was trying to break the wood. We all clung together, crying, as the knocking continued.
It's
and
not
then
that bad,
suddenly
guys.
stopped. Police arrived.
I don't
not
understand
long
why
after.
nobody got
They
their
opened the door
fam,
and let
or
them in.
dad or mom.
They asked questions
Literally
and
anybody.
searched the village that night, but there was no trace of him. He was never found. He's become Red Glove Man in our town,
The
a
urban
name
legend.
we'll never forget, and a story that still sits at the center of every summer memory we have.
Ew! That was it, guys, for the story, man. The third story, I gotta say, it was a crazy story, but it just doesn't really make sense to me. You should really get somebody like a family. I would never go out without like one of my family, or maybe, you know, someone related to me or somebody older. I literally was forced to stay at home, you know, just like now when just watch video games and watch YouTube videos, play stuff. But yeah, man, just I guess the moral of the story is just to watch out, be smart about things, make right decisions. Yeah, that was it for the horror marathon. Actually, I'm thinking since it's like once a week, man, we're gonna have to let's do another one. Let's do another one just for you guys. We're gonna do another one. All right.
A few moments later.
Next one. 4 disturbing true horror stories made by WANSEE Entertainment. My girl WANSEE Entertainment. I'm about to subscribe to him. Never mind, I already did. But yeah, here we go, man.
Last year,
What about your
I had
friend's
a neighbor
mom?
who was also my friend.
W.
She'd been my friend since I was 2 years old. Her name is Jalissa. Her mom and grandmother were also very close with my parents. Of course, my parents sometimes said they were jealous, and even a bit racist. Despite that, we used to go to places
What?
together and even take trips as families. It
Hell,
all started
racist.
in May of last year. I began to feel like Jalissa was avoiding me at school. I brushed it off at first. Around that time, my dad's
Watching
car
these make me
suddenly
feel
broke
young
down.
again, man. Like
He
creepy.
called a mechanic who lived nearby, and although
I
the
was like
repair
10
took a whole
watching,
week,
like,
the
stories
car
like
still
this.
wasn't fixed. Then, a second car broke down too. Since my dad couldn't work, things became really difficult for us. That's when the neighbor next door offered to take my dad's car to his garage and fix it. He test drove
Slender
it, and even
Man,
went pretty
Eyeless
far,
Jack,
and it
Jeff
seemed
the
perfectly
Killer,
fine.
Smile
But that
Dog,
night,
Ben
I was
Drowned,
looking out the window, watching my dad drive home.
Suicide
The moment the car pulled
Squidward.
into
I
our
don't know if I
front
can say
yard,
that word.
it stopped. It had broken down again. My dad was shocked. Everyone thought it was strange. The neighbor took the car back again and attempted to fix it once more, but another week passed and we had
Damn.
no money left. My dad went to see someone named Ro Ko, who was a psychic. What that person told him
Why would you go to a
completely
psychic?
shocked him. I didn't know anything about it for a few days. A few days before
That
my
is so
exams,
random.
my parents took me somewhere, and I could tell something was wrong between them. But they left me sitting in the car. Later, I found out it was the psychic's house.
Ooh.
Through the window, I saw a red candle and flowers placed on a desk inside. My mom told me it was a sacred place. We went back to see the psychic a few more
The
times.
psychic's on the top right.
Afterward, my dad asked me, "Do you know why we went there?" I said no. Then he told me, "The reason we went is because your best friend Jalissa's mom poured a dead person's bodily fluids into our front yard. It was
What?
terrifying."
Hold on, just give me a sec, guys. Dot? Yeah? Yeah. I'm alright.
Because in the mommy, they're just going to the chemist
Mm.
and they're probably buying food. So you text them, what you like something, huh?
Yeah, I already did.
Awesome. You already did.
Yeah.
Bye-bye, love you.
Alright, bye, I love you. Guys, that was my dad, man. Back to
He's
the
been trying
video.
to break our
So you
family
poured your
apart
ashes?
since 2015.
Wait, say that again.
Bodily fluids into our front. Jalissa's mom poured a dead person's bodily fluids into our front yard. It was
Ew.
terrifying. She's been trying to break our family apart since 2015. That's why your mom's
2015.
foot hurt back then. And in 2019, when my foot hurt and I had to go to the hospital, that was because of her too. She's done all kinds of things.
How does she damage
In
your foot
February
without you knowing?
2024,
She's
she
an
sprinkled
evil-
liquid from a corpse she got from a mortuary into our yard. She was trying to make your mom and me fight and go
Ooh.
crazy so we'd break up. She wanted to be with me. She always thought we were
Hermbreaker.
wealthy. The reason I had to go to the hospital for surgery was because of
Damn.
her.
She
Put a
wanted you,
curse
bro.
on your mom, but your mom is strong.
Twisted
My dad
love.
looked terrified. He said she poured a strange, sticky liquid in our yard to let evil spirits into
Hey, yer! Strange sticky liquid.
our home. She believed that if my dad stepped on it, his legs would rot. For 9 years, day and
Ew, man.
night, she had done all kinds
I
of
would
things.
notice.
All my parents
Listen, guys, look, let me show you guys my bed, okay? I would literally notice that shit, man. If somebody was looking at me, which they can't really because this is the second story of my room. So if somebody was climbing over there and looking at me, I would sense it. It's like what that guy from the first story said before. You kind of have an instinct when somebody's staring at you from behind or not. It's like a weird, I don't know how or why you can sense it. Or maybe it's just like, you know, your fear acting up. But yeah, you can
fights
sense people
and problems, he said, were because of her jealousy. Now the psychic Roko has given us something protective to bury in our yard. But my dad still has nightmares every night that Jalissa's mom and her new boyfriend are plotting something. Our family is doing well now,
His
but we
boyfriend
don't
be a
talk to
cuck then.
Jalissa's family anymore. And I don't keep in touch with Jalissa either. Sometimes I miss her because she used to be my friend, but I think things are better this way.
Sorry guys, my camera. I need to get a new camera, bro. It keeps on like tweaking out. I need to get a new camera. I need to get new speakers. And I want to get a green screen. That's the 3 goals right now. If I get a green screen, then you guys can basically see anything. Like, I want to try a green screen now. I feel like it will look nicer.
But I think things are better this way.
Okay, that was the first story.
Hi, WANSEE. I've been a fan of your channel since I was in 9th grade, and now I'm a college student. I wanted to share a really mysterious experience I had.
To be fan.
You can call me Rini. I live in India, and back then we moved often
there's a
because of
fan.
my dad's job. Eventually, he was transferred to Dehradun, the capital of Uttarakhand. Dehradun is known for its lush greenery, pleasant weather, and relatively safe environment. So my parents quickly fell in love with the city, and we ended up living there for quite a while.
Loving family.
That's where I experienced something truly strange. This happened in 2016, when I was in 4th grade, right at the start of summer vacation. One day, my friend, who I'll call S, came over because her parents
That's that
were busy
Naruto
with
stance,
work.
man.
We were extremely bored and just wandering around the garden with
Damn.
nothing to do.
I'm gonna
when
try
I
and put
noticed
this camera.
something large flying in the
camera,
sky.
man.
It was glowing and looked pure white. At first, I thought it was just an insect, but when I looked more closely, it looked like a tiny human figure. I could hardly believe what I was seeing. It honestly resembled a fairy
What
with
the
a
hell
thin,
is that?
almost fragile-looking body and very large wings that appeared slightly
Alright,
worn.
guys.
If I had to guess, it was probably around 13.
Alright, guys. How's that camera angle looking like right now, man? Ew. This is the most random camera angle ever. Damn. This is the worst angle ever. I'm not gonna lie.
13 or 14
I don't
inches
look good
tall.
at all in this angle.
I thought I must be hallucinating, but then my
You
friend
did,
said
man.
she could see it too. We both screamed at the exact same time. We were so startled that we pinched each other to make sure we weren't dreaming. When we quickly grabbed a phone and opened the camera to take a picture,
Some Disney
it had
shit.
already disappeared. The memory is still incredibly vivid to this day. I even drew a sketch of what I remember it looking like. To this day, we still have no idea what it was.
That looks cool. So what, it was some random creature
There's
in
a
the
story
night?
that still haunts me to this
Let me
day.
look at this because I didn't get to see it. Dude, what the hell? What am I even looking at? That's like a Bloody Mary. If you combine Bloody Mary and Tinkle Bell into one, you would get this.
I thought I might have drink already disappeared, but it was a story that
Alright,
when
third story, man. Third story, man. Here we go,
man. A story
man.
that still haunts me to this day. My name is Brian, and I'm from Sarawak, Malaysia. This happened exactly 10 years ago when I was still in college. The three of us, me, Hafiz from Johor, and Mustaqim from Kuala Lumpur, went on a short trip to Penang during our mid-semester break.
What's that?
After we arrived,
that's like Malaysia,
we spent
I
the
think.
day wandering
I heard
around
of Kuala
and
Lumpur.
sightseeing. That's when the incident happened. That night, the three of us were walking back to a Rama Villa apartment we had rented for our vacation, smoking as we went. Near the stadium, there's a famous spot called the Pasar Road Walk in Lowak. On the way to the apartment,
I'm not gonna lie.
there's a small bridge called the P.
You're
Ramlee
inhaling
Bridge.
3 fumes
As we were
at
walking
once.
and about to pass that bridge,
Steep.
we suddenly heard branches rustling above us. As we got closer, we could see it more clearly. It looked like some kind of monkey, but its body was pitch black, its eyes were red, and it had 4 arms and 2 legs. It was eating something. Then it dropped whatever it was holding and suddenly stared straight at us before chasing us.
Yo.
We ran as fast as we could. Somehow,
Ew,
three of us
man.
managed to escape, and after that night, we never passed through that area again after
That's the
dark.
Ben 10 Omnitrix
That
Spider
wasn't
Monkey.
the end of it. The next day, when we were leaving the apartment to head to campus, we saw the creature run away after dropping a dead cat onto the hood of my
That was
friend's car. We were completely shocked.
That's
What was it?
disrespectful.
How did it
man.
know which car belonged to us? And where had we parked?
That's disrespectful.
It was as if it could smell us. The three of us agreed to keep what happened a secret between us
Why?
because there was no way to explain what that creature was.
Why would you keep it a secret?
During my senior year of high school,
Bro, guys, that could kill you, man. Like that monkey, he has 6 arms, right? Like Ben 10, 6 arms. You don't know what he could be doing with like all those arms at once. He could tear you apart limb from limb, man.
there was this kid.
The story,
let's
there
call him
you
Jonathan.
go.
He was in 11th grade, and people had this strange nickname for him, the Freshman Killer. If you
Kyle
knew,
looks creepy,
you
no
knew.
offense.
It unsettled me to say the least.
Freshman killer.
I found out about it because one of my friends, let's call him Kay,
Yeah, man.
was in the same grade as Jonathan and lived on the same block
This is
as
our
me.
MC.
I wasn't friends with Jonathan, though. Every morning, Kay and I would
With the
take the
middle
same
part.
bus, and Jonathan would always dap us up. But there was something off about him. He had
Facts,
this
people
creepy,
just dap you up.
unnerving look in his eyes. Not wanting to seem rude, I reluctantly returned the dap, masking the discomfort I felt. During lunch, I often sat with Kay's
Damn,
brother,
you guys are
Josh.
assholes.
Jonathan would always gravitate to our table, uninvited, with Kay the dap in his
It's not that serious.
Not wanting to seem rude, I
This
reluctantly
dude rubbed his hand.
returned the dap.
This dude rubbed his hand right after dapping him. That is disrespectful. I think there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with the guy, because you never really know what's going to happen with all things being said or done. Because at the end of the day, it's just rumors. You have to see for yourself, guys. You can't always just listen to what other people think of gossip and whatnot. And naturally, I guess it's okay because you're in high school
Masking the discomfort.
and you don't really
I felt.
understand what
During
you're doing.
lunch, I
until you
often
get-
sat with Kay's brother, Josh. Jonathan would always gravitate to our table, uninvited. We joked about it, calling him the Freshman Killer to his face, half laughing at how strange and inappropriate he seemed. Sometimes, we would tell him straight up that his behavior was weird. Eventually, Jonathan made this off-putting comment. "I don't hit on freshmen anymore, only sophomores and up."
anymore
Like
as
that
well.
somehow made it better. Josh and I were disgusted, exchanging glances filled with repulsion. Time went on, and I convinced Kay and Josh to distance themselves from Jonathan. We gradually stopped talking to him, but it didn't stop Jonathan
We're gonna
from
guitar
lingering.
out.
He started showing up in my 7th period class, even though he wasn't enrolled in it.
Is he gay?
Other students said the same.
You have to
He'd be
watch
seen
out if
in
you're gay,
random
man.
classes, just sitting there. It was during this time that his name began circulating on the school's confession page. Accusations of him being a creep, a predator, worse, were posted for all to see.
I'm not gonna lie, I'm not trying to be rude or anything. I think I would stay away from him respectfully. Because after hearing that sentence of him about saying, I don't date freshmen anymore, only sophomore. Nah. I'm sorry, I can't stick with somebody like that, man.
Something held me back from completely cutting ties. One thing about Jonathan always stood out, the guitar case he carried around. He claimed it was for band class, but something about it unsettled me.
Have you ever seen him playing a guitar? There's my question.
What I thought was a lighthearted joke, I blurted out, "He's got a gun!" mimicking a meme. Jonathan's face darkened. "Shut the hell up, dude," he muttered. I followed it up by joking, "Imagine if you actually had something in there." He didn't seem pleased, but we all laughed it off. I never imagined what the joke would become. Another time, I saw
Look
him
at him
with the
holding it
guitar
like
again
that.
and told him he should play something. He almost did, but before he could,
Why y'all
the
bullying
teacher
him
called
there,
us to
man?
class. After that, I stopped talking to him altogether, and eventually, I graduated and left all that behind.
He looks normal.
Fast forward 4 months after graduation, and I saw a meme one of my friends posted. "Stay away from Jonathan Diddy Wells," it read. I chuckled, remembering how weird he'd been. Out of curiosity, I texted a friend who still attended the school. "Yo, do you know a guy named Jonathan Wells? People used to call him the freshman killer, right?" His response made my blood run cold. "Yeah, I know Jonathan. He's the one who threatened the school." I stared at my screen in disbelief. Then came the next message. He had a gun in his guitar bag. The weight of what he said sank in. My stomach churned. I had joked about that very thing. I had laughed it off.
There's a
Never once
story,
imagined
guys,
it
I
could be
got
real.
after this.
I couldn't help but replay that moment
school.
in my mind. The teacher stopping us before Jonathan took out the guitar.
Dude has a gun in
What
his
if that
back.
teacher hadn't? What if Jonathan had unzipped that case? That thought still haunts me to this day, knowing I might have helped brush off something so dangerous, something that could have turned into a nightmare, terrifies me in a way I will never forget.
Ew. Alright there, guys, that was it for the story. Before I end the video there, I want to talk about the story that I had with this one dude. Oh my god, bro! Ew! Guys, third video, I didn't even film it at all. I'm gonna adjust it just so you guys can actually see it properly, man. But I want to talk about the story that I had before. Back in the day. It was like back in year 10. This is the fourth horror story, or 7th one.
Bruh.
I just want to talk about the story about how this guy used to know a guy named Moses. And this is a real story. I'm gonna be serious. I know some of the horror stories here were actually real, fake or not. But there was this guy named Moses back in the day. And from what I heard, he was like a year above us. But something might have happened along the way and he kind of got out of school. And next thing I know, he came back to the school, but he was held back a grade. I hear rumors about how his father passed away, and so I think it kind of threw him off mentally. I'm not really sure. I can't say anything, but what happened was that Moses, man, that he was I gotta say he was out of beat. I feel like I would say like an out of beat person. Me, I'm more out of beat, you know what I mean, as well. Like I'm kind of just the type that doesn't really fit in with a lot of people, and don't really blend in well. But I feel like it was kind of different for Moses, because the way he acted, it was sort of strange, if it was the right word. I had heard that he was using medication and what do you call it? yeah, all I heard was that he was using medication or antidepressants, and so I think it affected his mood or his behavior in some sort of way. But a lot of the people in my school or classmates found him weird. Maybe just like a small few, but we kind of understood why. We had empathy/sympathy for him because we knew of his story. And the story, man, goes on. He was kind of weird. I played table tennis with him one time. Feels like I wasn't even playing with anybody. He wasn't even playing with me. He was just like trying to push out his emotions or vent his emotions or something like that. Like he was just, I think he was going through it. And when he was playing table tennis with me, I felt that he wasn't even focusing on me. He was just, it was sort of like a way where he was like using the table tennis as a way against of the world or something like that, is what I assumed. Like it was like a projection of the world. I don't even know what I'm saying, I'm rambling, but that's what I just assumed. So Moses, maybe months later or like a year later, he kind of just stopped entirely going to classes. And when that happened, we all heard news about how Moses attempted to stab someone. He stabbed someone. And it's crazy because when I thought of it, like the thought of somebody I knew had gone to a point or a breaking point, just stabbing someone, kind of shook me and shook all of us, to be honest. He ended up getting arrested from what I heard, and I think he wasn't right in the head. He was talking about how, what would happen if he died, or how do I go to heaven or something like that, from what I heard in the news and the articles. It was crazy. And you know, the news tried to barricade his family and talk to him about it, but I never really heard any updates from it after. I knew his older brother worked in the school, but you could tell that they were going through it. And yeah, but that was the story of Moses, man. I'm probably gonna blur his name out because I may get in trouble from talking about this. I'll just leave it up to everybody else's interpretation. If you were in my school, you would have known who he was. But yeah, that was the story, man. Make sure to like, subscribe, and share if you guys are new, man. We out. It kind of reminded me of the guy in this video. But yeah, peace.